So welcome back to another video today. Today isn't any ordinary video. As you may remember, quite a while ago I started a video series called Battlefield Debriefing. Now the point of that series, even though it was absolutely amazing to make, unfortunately it had to end because Battlefield 4 did release, and as I was saying, the point of the series was to give you informative segments about Battlefield 4 in say 5 to 10 minute videos. Whether that be the single player, the multiplayer, vehicles, map, weapons, attachments, camos, etc, etc. You name it, I wanted to cover it, but of course Battlefield, the beta at least did launch, so that series unfortunately had to end. Now, even though the interactivity with you guys was absolutely awesome, I wanted to bring back the series, because Battlefield Hardline is fast approaching. Even though E3 is nearly here, hopefully I can cover even more throughout the gameplay, of which we're going to see at E3. But until then, I have a few topics of which to talk about within Battlefield Hardline. I've already covered the multiplayer side of things, which looks very, very cool. But today I wanted to cover the single player, because the single player in most Battlefield games, besides Bad Company 2, have been pretty much torn up roadkill. Now, they haven't been really fun to play. Battlefield 3, kind of an exception, because okay, it was fairly fun to play, but the storyline I found didn't really match up too well. It wasn't really that great. The storyline was sort of weak, and I found some of the flashbacks. That was kind of the whole campaign. You would see them talking in an interrogation room, and it would flash back to a certain point in time of which he was talking about. So you can kind of see where they were going, and the idea was solid, but I don't think it really turned out too well with Battlefield 3. Just my opinion. But Battlefield 4 really didn't do it any favours, because the campaign, well, the campaign was pretty trashy. I mean, it was very linear, it was very boring and pretty repetitive. I mean, they showed it off in the trailers like it was this epic, amazing campaign everybody wants to experience, but once you do, I think everyone just played it for the exclusive weapons. Now, I'm not in favour for exclusive weapons, but I think that's kind of a cheap way to not only get something from multiplayer, but also to make people play your campaign. Seems kind of sneaky. But Battlefield Hardline, now Battlefield Hardline just rolls up in a police cruiser with this awesome campaign. Now, even though it does look awesome, it may not turn out to be as awesome as it shows in the trailers, as we take note from Battlefield 4. But what they showed you can do is you can take or approach a certain mission in multiple different ways. So you can either go in stealthy with a silenced pistol and your trusty rusty blade, but you can also go in guns blazing if you really want to with a shotgun, or you can take up a sniper position on top of a roof with a zipline. That's really cool, because that allows players to have at least some diversity in the missions and some variety in the way they play them. So at least they can revisit them in a different way if they really wish to. Because, I mean, if you try to revisit the Battlefield 4 campaign, you'd find exactly the same mission you played, what, a good 6 months ago. The other thing about the Battlefield Hardline campaign is you can take a good or bad cop approach. Now, that's quite cool, because it allows you to either take the good side or the bad side. You can either shoot all the criminals, or you can take them down and handcuff them to a table, which I think is really cool, because they showed off in the gameplay. You can just take them down, smash their head against a wall or a car, a floor, or hit them with a chair. Either way is perfectly acceptable. But after they've been taken down onto the floor, you can handcuff them. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. I don't think you can do just that on multiplayer, of which you might be able to. You might be able to handcuff other people. That would be really quite interesting. But besides that, that's really all we know about the single player. They've tried to incorporate it in such a way they've made it like TV shows. So it's like you're watching a TV show, but you're actually just playing a really awesome campaign. I'm not really too sure if anybody actually watches or likes those cop drama TV shows where it shows you the cop's perspective of trying to take down a criminal. I find them quite entertaining. I don't watch them on a daily basis, but there was one that I remember quite distinctively. Now, this criminal attempted to rob a bank because he went armed with his rucksack, his mask, etc, etc. He pushed open the door. As soon as he said put the money in the back, the alarms went off, the shutters came down, and the police were called, obviously. But unfortunately, his tiny brain couldn't comprehend that it was a pull door instead of a push door. So, unfortunately, his incompetence let him down in the most vital part. Saying about criminals having a bad time opening doors, Battlefield soldiers have a bad time climbing fences. So, I'm not really too sure which one is worse. But with that said, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time.